For today's review, we turn to Fallen Leaf, a fantastic modern retro platformer full of platforming, MacGuffins, and lots of pixels. Our story is that when siblings Petal and Leaf find a mysterious treasure chest and awaken the evil Xanathos, who threatens to condemn the world through judgment, by the laws of 2D platformers, they must now go on a global spanning adventure in order to save the day, meet lots of friends, and get lots and lots of collectibles. Our gameplay here is clearly a love letter to the NES 2D platformer, particularly of the style of Capcom, with many winks, nods, and very similar mechanics to some of the all-time greats. Our basic gameplay is that each character has a different primary attack, and you can acquire different magic weapons that can be used kind of by your magic gauge at the top. By picking up magic gauntlets in the levels, you'll be able to upgrade a character up to 2 times. This will change kind of the properties of your main and sub weapon and also give it more damage. But if you take a hit, you'll go back down to the basic level. The character designs in this one are quite interesting. There are also a lot of them, which also will take us into the length of this game in a few minutes. Each character has different stats when it comes to attack, run, and jumping, and you'll be able to make use of them in a variety of ways. The base game itself, you can completely play through with just Petal and Leaf, but getting the additional characters not only gives you more options, but will allow you to speedrun and sequence break through some of the levels as well, and they are required if you're going for all secrets and the true ending. The level design in this one focuses a little bit more on quantity over quality. You're not going to find 5 to 15 minute long levels in this one. The game definitely feels reminiscent of that of the early Mario Brothers. Levels at the beginning are maybe a minute to 2 minutes at length, and near the end of the game they may get to about 3.5 to 4 minutes, give or take. But the game has no live system and instead will heavily checkpoint whenever you enter a new room or a new screen. And it does help cut down on some of the challenge of the game. Our overall path through, I would say, is moderate to moderately challenging. If you've played any 2D platformer over the past 10 years, you should be more than acquainted with the movement tech and general play required here. And the different characters, especially those that have additional jump range or air dashing, definitely allows you to kind of cut down on some of the difficulty or trickiness of some of the later sections. But the game does get a little bit challenging as you get further in, as new levels will introduce more enemy types, and you'll have to make do with if you get powered down at any moment. Now, what separates Fallen Leaf from a lot of the other 2D platformers we've played and covered in recent time here is its length. This is not a short game by any stretch of the imagination. It may be one of the longest 2D platformers we've played in this kind of retro style in a long time. We clocked in at just under 9 hours for the true ending, and a lot of that comes with just the sheer amount of secrets and bonuses. There are kind of like mini-game challenges hidden throughout the worlds. There are additional secrets to find. There's one massive secret which we did not get a chance to get all the way through, but this is definitely a game if you're looking for a very meaty platformer to play that's not going to, again, challenge you with like huge movement or platforming tech. Everything is kept, again, within kind of the reign or the domain of the NES era. Another aspect of this game that I definitely want to touch on is the pixel art. It is phenomenal. Definitely some of the best I've seen also in recent time. A lot of it comes down to just some very detailed backgrounds, as well as subtle animations and kind of details of the characters themselves when you do certain things and during cutscenes. Our story may start out very kind of like basic and hokey, but it definitely goes to some very unusual places, which I don't want to spoil here in this review. This is one of those games that it knows exactly the audience that it's trying to reach and who is going to play this. And in that respect, this game is pretty much flawless for a 2D platformer. I can't really fault anything in this game, as it just again hits all the notes of 2D platforming. If I had to like nitpick this game in any respect, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more in terms of boss battles and kind of more, I guess, like unique uses of the different characters. I guess as a minor spoil, you do get a lot of different characters in this game, and outside of just one specific challenge, you are free to mix and match as you see fit. But if you're hoping for kind of like super advanced challenges that really make use of all the characters, you're not going to find that here, or the bosses that kind of force you to use stuff along those lines. But again, that is more of a nitpick than anything else. Fallen Leaf is just a phenomenal platformer. It hits every note almost flawlessly, has amazing pixel art, and music that definitely goes in a variety of directions as well. This is an easy recommendation for me if you have any love of NES style 2D platforming and looking for one that can be played for a very wide audience, as you can also pick up additional like consumable items if you need additional health or power-ups along the way. But we did this whole thing without any of those power-ups. We of course did things the old school method. So to sum things up, Fallen Leaf is a phenomenal non-retro platformer. While it may look simple from the outside, there is a ton of stuff here. And the game's use of kind of having smaller levels as opposed to longer ones also helps with the amount of secrets, as it cuts down the amount of real estate you need to kind of backtrack or replay if you miss that one hidden map or that one random thing in a room. And even with that, all the secrets did feel very easy to find. I only had trouble with one, and that was just because I forgot that I had an item that we had to turn in for a quest. And yes, there are a ton of quests in this game as well. I would like to thank the developer for giving me a press key to check this one out, and I certainly enjoyed it. You'll find the complete play of this on our gameplay channel. If you did play this one yourself, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. And if you let me tell your game, it does not have to involve MacGuffins, platforming, or leaf-based characters, please get in touch. And with that, thanks for tuning in, and see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.